coach, a consultant, or a service-based business owner, and you want a consistent flow of clients, there are three core pillars that allow you to achieve that. I ran a training on this some time ago, and it is absolutely timeless. So good that I wanted to make sure that it comes out to you as a gift. So I want you to go ahead and check out that training. But before you do, if you haven't yet scheduled your call with us and you want my team of storytelling masters to help you to scale your business, then there will be an opportunity for you with a button or a link below this video to schedule your 10x revenue hot seat call. So make sure you schedule that. But without further ado, let's dive into the training. Now, when I teach on messaging, or when people craft their messaging and they send to me for audit, one of the biggest problems that I see is that inside of people's messaging and what they're putting out there, the reason people aren't biting is because there are no tangibles, right? It's what I call fluffy. It isn't clear, it isn't specific, and it does absolutely nothing. In fact, it's like a balloon that's losing life. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's just a deflating balloon. It's not going to go anywhere. So the three things you need: big problem, right? What is the big problem that you solve for your clients? And make it a big problem. It has to be big, right? It has to be so big to the point that it's urgent. And if you are unsure whether the problem you solve is big enough, then when we get on our call, this is one of the things we will be talking about. The second thing you need is your big solution. Now, what is the big solution that you have to their big problem? Once you know exactly who it is you're working with, you know the big problem you are solving, you've got to know how best to deliver the solution, how best to help them. You know, is it best to help them via coaching, via consulting, via a mastermind? What is the best way to deliver a big solution? And finally, probably the most important, in fact, all of these three things are important, but where a lot of people really drop the ball is in that big benefit. My God. Now, the big benefit is the reason why people will buy from you, right? The big benefit is what says, look, I know that there are so many other people who do this stuff, but you have been able to show me why I need this. So many people are good at talking about the problem and are good at saying, oh, I have an online course that will help you with so-and-so. But not many people are good at telling you why you need that solution. Not many people are able to move you from a place of just observing to a place of knowing that, goodness me, not only do I have this problem, but I need to change this problem right now. And we have two words that help us with crafting that big solution. And those are the words so that, right? So that what? So you state your big problem, you state your solution, and then you add in so that. And then you state that benefit. The reason you have this solution to that big problem is so that your ideal clients can have this benefit. So really, really, really important. The second secret, or the second pillar, is storytelling. Now, a lot of people say to me, Pam, there are so many, programs and sales systems out there, and a lot of people have taken these programs and still come and work with me. What is it about you? Why does what you do work so well? They can't seem to put a finger in it until we begin to work together. And one of the biggest things that they miss is this: storytelling. Right? It's been one of the most incredible ways that I have built my business being an actress. I was able to bring in stories that convert, stories that move people to the buy button, stories that move you away from thinking, oh, I'm reading a sales page and, oh, you're trying to sell to me, or stories that move you away if you're on a call with somebody from them thinking, now you are about to make me an offer. Now you are about to sell me your stuff that I don't even need, that I don't even want, all of those things, to actually going into their head and really psychologically changing things around so that they begin to walk themselves and see themselves getting that big benefit we talked about. That is the power of storytelling. So in one of the trainings, once you book that call with me, one of the trainings that you will actually receive from me is a formula for how I do storytelling. And it's a formula called the BINGO. Bingo. right? That is the formula that I will be teaching you. We use this formula inside of the Lucrative Sales System Mastermind to craft our video sales letters, so that when you have your sales system in place, the very things that sells each offer on each page and brings people, walks them right through your entire sales system, bringing them right to your very top, are those videos. It is those stories. Because guess what? Right? If you want people to buy from you, you've got to understand that they've got to buy into you first. And once they have bought into you, they will continue to buy from you. So the second point is storytelling. Now, and finally, the third secret, and that is a lucrative sales system. Now, the 3 secrets to creating a consistent flow of clients, right, is number 1, messaging, really good magnetic messaging. Number 2, storytelling, very, very important. Now, how do you put this together? Because yes, you can do the spray and pray strategy, which is what a lot of people do and what I certainly used to do. And that is put together messaging and post on social media and all of those things, and post in various groups. And all of those things are well and good, and they do work. But I found myself constantly chasing my tail for clients, constantly having to keep up with my inbox on various different platforms, and keep up with email and keep up with all sorts of different things. And when people did book a call with me finally, they weren't really, really qualified because they didn't walk through a system. So secret number 3 is that you've got to take all of this as well as an awesome, irresistible offer and place it inside of a sales system that literally moves people through your messaging so that they buy into what you have to sell, through your storytelling so that they buy into you, the person behind it, and that literally walks them through your offer. And I'm telling you something, this is the key. These 3 things are absolutely crucial if you want to create that consistent flow of clients, if you want to stay away from having to chase non-committed or non-paying clients. You've got to have the right messaging with the big problem, the big solution, the big benefit. You've got to have the right stories, and these are several stories that go inside of your sales systems using the BINGO formula, right? And you've got to have your lucrative sales system, which is what ties everything together, including your irresistible offer, right? Because this is what they are coming for in the end. The problem is that a lot of people start by trying to make an offer without first taking people through a process to get to that offer, right? Can you see the difference? If people don't know you, if they've only just come across your brand and you're trying to make them a full whack offer, the chances of them converting are very, very low. But if they come through a system and a process, and they have bought into you, it's just an incredible way to run your business. Thank you so much for watching. I know that you got value from that. If you have already scheduled your call, make sure that you've put it in your calendar, because we will be waiting, ready to help you to build and scale. However, if you're watching this but you haven't yet scheduled your call, you have one last opportunity to do so, and the link is below this video. I'll see you on the call.